this year. Gloria Milimu, KTN News.
Okay, away from the climate summit conversation, and the government is seeking to write off all debts owed by public universities. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu says his ministry is exchanging and engaging the National Treasury on ways to waive the 60 billion shillings debt that public universities owe the Kenya Revenue Authority and other financial institutions. Machogu has further confirmed that a technical committee comprising of officers from Ministries of Education and the National Treasury is already looking into that matter.
Public universities have accrued a cumulative debt of 62 billion shillings, comprising of NHIF, KRA, pay-as-you-earn, NSF and other statutory deductions. And they are concerned that the amount has been on a steady rise.
As at 30th June, the universities had a debt of 60.2 billion. And this amount is growing by about $500 million every month.
While the introduction of the new funding formula for higher education was meant to address the financial crisis in public universities, questions still linger over the pending bills. But now, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu says there is a plan.
What we are requesting for is a waiver, particularly for KRA payments, so that those past years they can be given a waiver. But moving forward, each and every university, because we are now going to give them enough funds, they must pay for pay-as-you-earn and other compulsory statutory deductions.
The previous funding formula, through which government funded students at 80% under differentiated unit cost, has been blamed for the current financial crisis in public universities, especially after it emerged that instead of the required 80%, government only funded students at 48%, which resulted in an outstanding debt of 165 billion shillings owed to universities by the government.
From 2018-2019, when we had a DUC, which is supposed to be 80%, the average student we were funding at 163,560. Because of the number of students growing, we have found that this number, average amount of funding, has reduced.
The pending bills accrued because we were not sending adequate enough funds to universities, because like last financial year, the amount of money that we were able to disperse to our universities was 48%. So 32% were not dispersed. So it is because of that they were not able to pay for statutory deductions like pay-as-you-earn, NHIF, pensions, and the rest.
Speaking in Naivasha after meeting the Senate Committee on Education, Machogu clarified that even as the government finds ways of settling universities' spending bills, it was imperative that universities practice financial prudence going forward. Meanwhile, the government has undertaken to ensure that beginning next year, disbursement of capitation to schools will be timely and according to the required formula. Shadrach Miti, KTN News.
We're taking a short break now. When we come back, we tell you about the bilateral agreement signed between the Ministry of Water and the Egyptian government.